Why can't your partner just get over it? Most of us know that repairing your relationship isn't that easy. You must provide emotionally corrective experiences, and that begins with a process of healing yourself first. You've been there probably countless times where you get angry, you raise your voice, your body tenses up, you become demanding, and your tone of voice increases and gets intimidating. This makes your partner and your kids feel like they're walking on eggshells. Eventually, your partner starts to shut down. They withdraw, they disconnect, and you can see that you're not as close as you used to be. It doesn't help anything that your defensive attitude also minimizes the effect that your behavior has on your partner. You don't see your behavior as a big deal and you think that your partner's overreacting. You also don't want to talk about how they feel or how you treat them. You just want them to get over it, move on, and let it go. After all, you were just angry. It wasn't that big of a deal. This sounds familiar? You need to understand that you're driving your relationship off a cliff. Nothing's going to change or improve until you start to change from the inside out. But how? I'm Dr. Scott Symes, clinical psychologist. I run the program Breaking Reactive Patterns, the blueprint for building a safe and healthy relationship, where we explore the root causes of why you are the way that you are, and then I teach you a step-by-step approach on how to change that for good. So if you're looking for transformation, schedule a discovery call with me. The links are right below this video. And make sure you're sharing this video with your partner, because you may not be the one who's doing this. You might be on the receiving end of this, and you desperately are looking for your partner to change. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for when I post a new video weekly. You might be thinking, Dr. Scott, I've never put my hands on my partner ever. I've never been abusive. Well, that might be, but when your partner is afraid of your upsets, your judgments, your criticisms, your ridicule, your put downs, your invalidation, your angry moods, your attitude, your reactions, then you are definitely threatening in emotional ways. And this is the most common way that dysfunction creeps into every single relationship. It leads to disconnection, and it results in your partner shutting down, avoiding, and attempting to please. All of that sucks. It's no fun. And when we start to lose the positive feelings for our partner or for our relationship, guess what happens? We start to disconnect, or we start to look elsewhere. Healing this and bringing your relationship back together requires you to change from the inside out. The real way to heal your relationship is both insight-based and experiential or nervous system-based. It also takes patience and consistency, because you and your partner's nervous systems learn through repeated experiences of each other. Not promises, not apologies, not explanations, experiences. A corrective emotional experience happens when you behave differently in a moment when your old pattern normally takes over. This makes your partner sit up and take notice. They're likely going to be skeptical at first, but when you stay consistent with that type of behavior, then your partner starts to see that the threat of your emotional upsets and your reactivity is over, and their nervous system starts to relax. Because if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that the foundation of every healthy relationship is safety and security. Safety and security means that I have a relationship that's free from fear and free from pain. But change is tricky, it's hard, and we end up doing it all the wrong ways. True change comes from the inside out. Let me tell you something. You can't manufacture external safety while your internal state is agitated and dysregulated. Your partner's going to pick up on it, and it's going to look like you're just trying to fake it till you make it. And that's not going to lead them to having any trust in you. They're going to just be skeptical and waiting for you to slip up. When you're building emotional safety, you are trying to build trust. And when you are trying to fake it till you make it, you're just trying to change your behavior when you don't change any inside things, then you're not building trust with your partner. They can see through it. So if internally you're still believing that you're the victim, you're right and they're wrong, you're angry, resentful, insecure, you think you're better than your partner, or you see yourself as in charge and that you kind of like see your relationship as a hierarchy, you will broadcast those signals out without saying any words. So the old pattern is dysfunctional beliefs leads to emotional dysregulation, leads to reactivity, leads to fear, leads to uncertainty and erosion of trust. The blueprint for change is that you adopt healthy beliefs, which leads to emotional regulation, regulated behavior, experiences that are changing, emotionally corrective experiences, which builds trust and builds connection. You see, a dysfunctional belief isn't just a thought. It's a prediction that your nervous system has used for sometimes decades, that you learn from past experiences, usually ones that are involving vulnerability, fear, and inconsistency. Because these dysfunctional beliefs are treated like truth, they drive your automatic reactions, your anger, your withdrawals, your defensiveness, your reactivity, and your people pleasing. This is what I mean when I say you have to change from the inside out. You have to start at the belief system level because your belief system generates your behavior. If you are doing it the opposite way, where you're just trying to change behavior, but you haven't changed the internal beliefs, you're doing things backwards and it never works. It's kind of like when you're losing weight and you need to drop 50 pounds and you adopt these ideas about going to the gym and you exercise and exercise, but you haven't changed your mindset about food in general. You still believe I should be able to eat whatever I want to eat whatever I want, and I'm going to eat whatever I want. If you don't change those beliefs around food, around what's allowed, what's not allowed, what are the rules around food, you cannot out-exercise a terrible diet. So you're doing things that are self-defeating. I'm going to exercise a ton, but I'm not going to change anything internally related to my beliefs about food. You're never going to get there. Changing a dysfunctional belief does not happen through logic or insight alone. It also happens when you give your brain a contradictory emotional experience, a moment where your old prediction is disproven in real time, where you're actively working at trying to disprove to yourself that what you used to believe, the dysfunctional belief, actually is false. And that you give yourself an understanding that as I act those dysfunctional beliefs out, I'm only getting the things I don't want. So it only makes sense to change the belief into something that allows me to get me what I do want. That's the emotionally corrective experience. And that mismatch allows for rewiring of your brain. So here are 5 steps on how to begin to change dysfunctional beliefs. Now, again, this is a complicated process and you're likely going to need some help, like from my program, Breaking Reactive Patterns. But here's some 5 steps to just get you started. Number 1, identify the dysfunctional belief. This is usually rooted in threat or insecurity. Remember, dysfunctional beliefs are fear-based beliefs. If you watched any of my other videos, you would know that these are called schemas. Number 2, track the emotional experience or the somatic experience inside of your body. This is the sensation that gets activated when that belief is triggered. For me, in my fight response, it's all in my chest, in my jaw, in my hands. I get clenched up and tense. When I'm in my fawn response and I'm worried that somebody's upset with me, that I don't have their approval, I feel it all in my gut. So I feel that nervous, sinking, kind of hollow feeling in my gut. Number 3, recognize the old learning that created the belief. This is something that we call adaptations. If you have a very critical father and you adapted to his moods and his upsets by people pleasing, trying to cater, trying to keep him happy, that's a fawn response. That means that you adopted a belief system that says, I have to do everything for everybody, or nothing I do is right, or I'm never appreciated, or I'm not really loved. There's a number of dysfunctional beliefs that can come out of that interaction style. Number 4, create a corrective emotional experience. Behave differently than the old pattern. So when your defensiveness comes up, the easiest thing that I can tell people to do is that curiosity is the opposite of defensiveness. Instead of attacking your partner and accusing them of things, ask questions, get curious, lean in. What makes you think this? Help me understand. What do you mean by that? But say it in a way that's genuinely curious. Don't say it in a defensive way. And then we're trying to take that information in so that we can use it as a way to empathetically shift our narrative, our story inside of ourselves, and really try to see it from our partner's perspective. Remember, we're trying to listen to understand, not listen to just respond. And then number 5, we are trying to reinforce this new belief through repetition and new interactions. So a behavior takes through practice. You have to practice the skill. Just like if you're trying to play a sport, if you're trying to learn how to play basketball or golf, you have to keep doing the swings, keep taking the shots over and over and over again so that your body starts to remember how the club feels in your hand, how it feels to shoot the ball properly. Let me give you some examples on how to do this. Dysfunctional belief. If I don't control the situation, I'll be rejected or overwhelmed. Resulting behavior. Dominance, control, interrupting, shutting down conversations to avoid feeling powerless. Corrective emotional experience. In a moment when you normally escalate, instead you pause, you regulate, and you stay present long enough to realize I didn't lose control and they didn't leave. The feared outcome never happened because I didn't do something that helped create the feared outcome. And then the functional belief that emerges, I can stay grounded during conflict and connection doesn't depend on control. Remember, this is not an affirmation. This is not something you write down and you just say to yourself every day. This is experiential evidence. The new belief sticks because your nervous system lived a new outcome that contradicts the old prediction. So those are 5 steps on how to challenge a dysfunctional belief. Now let's look at 5 more steps on how to become more emotionally regulated. Number 1, you want to catch the somatic experience or the somatic cue before the emotion peaks. We want to notice the alarm signals in our body that is making us feel like we're in danger or under threat. We're just trying to build this observer self, our ability to witness ourselves and pay attention. What's going on inside of Scott? What's happening with Scott right now? Number 2, then we name the internal state accurately. We're using precise, non-judgmental language. Then it sounds like I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling exhausted. I'm feeling threatened. I'm feeling ashamed. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling unloved. Naming the state that you're in re-engages the prefrontal cortex of your brain. Number 3, we want to interrupt this physiological cascade of emotion. So that looks like slow exhales, diaphragmatic breathing, pausing before the interaction. I often tell people that we need to walk away for a period of time so that our body can metabolize that adrenaline and that cortisol that's pumping through your system. Walking away is not avoidance. As long as you come back, you are simply saying, I don't feel safe right now inside of myself. I need to go take care of that. While you are away, we are regulating our emotional states, but we're also challenging the story in our minds. We're trying to shift out of this selfish defensive mentality and shift into love, perspective, empathy. Number 4, we want to choose a behavior that contradicts the old pattern. This is what offers your partner the corrective emotional experience. So instead of raising your voice, you turn the intensity down on your voice, and that signals back to your partner, this is different. And step number 5, listen, ruptures are going to happen. We cannot be 100% aware of every single thing that's going on in us at every single moment. Life is stressful. It's difficult. So when ruptures do happen, we don't need to offer a very long apology. We just simply have to acknowledge what's going on inside of us. Like, I felt myself getting overwhelmed. Thank you for pausing with me. Thank you for letting me pause. Or you notice your partner shrinking or starting to act like they're afraid of you. And instead of getting angry and agitated with them, going, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? Why are you avoiding me? You gently acknowledge what's going on. I can tell that I have some intensity in my voice and I bet that's scaring you. Or I was being sarcastic and I bet you probably thought that I was putting you down. I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have done that. You didn't deserve that. I'll own that. You see, so much of our relationships are dependent on acknowledgement of how we're affecting each other and taking responsibility of how we're affecting each other. This kind of repetition over and over and over again builds predictability. Our nervous system wants to know what's about to happen. And when we can predict what's going to happen accurately, we can feel safe, we can feel secure, we can feel that trust building back up. So if you want your relationship to feel safe, connected, intimate, then you have to build that trust back. You have to show your partner that you are a safe person, not because you're trying to hack your own behavior, because you are legitimately changing the beliefs that are inside of you that say that I am a safe person. I am dedicated to becoming a safe person for the people that I love because I don't want to harm them. So the corrective experiences that your partner needs in order for them to trust you and to feel connected to you and want to get close to you begin inside of you. And when you begin to change this internal state, you begin to change the entire dynamic of your relationship. If you're ready for your transformation, click the links below to schedule a discovery call with me for my program, Breaking Reactive Patterns, the blueprint for building a safe and healthy relationship. Remember, your transformation begins with you. Thanks so much for watching.